Hello, everybody. Proud of our guys. I want to applaud State and Coach Doran and their assistants because I thought it was a clean game. A lot of times this game can be chippy and a lot of pushing and shoving and late hits and fighting, and there wasn't any of that I could tell at all. So I thought credit to both teams that they handled their emotions well and did the things that they were supposed to do. We did the things that you need to do to win ball games. In some cases that we haven't been doing. We protected the ball. We were able to run the ball well, and we forced 4 turnovers. And that's how you win games. Our kicking game was good today. Probably the best that we've had other than the one short field goal miss. Everything else was good. But when you run the ball like that and you stop the run, you've got a chance to win every week. And I told the guys that I didn't think that obviously we played at the highest level we could at Florida State. And I told them Florida State's going to have trouble with that this week because everybody's going to brag on them. And they're going to struggle going to Louisville because Louisville's a much better team than their record. And that's what happens in this business. One game right now, in my estimation, doesn't lead to another as much as it used to. It's the team that plays the best Saturday, and all of us think we know who's going to win and all that. I picked games for 5 years, and it is really crazy. You nearly have to pick emotion. Everybody's got players. Everybody's got scholarships. And on a given day, if you mess it up or you can't run it, you can get beat. So really, really proud of our guys. Our running backs are 2 of the best in the country. I thought our offensive line was dominant today. And when that happens, your protection's good. Sam made some outstanding throws. He made plays with his feet again. And I thought other than the drive right before the half, our defense played really well. I don't know what that is about our 5 minutes in the end of the half. Maybe I shouldn't have said that was one of the most important times in the game when I got here because we just don't play well on defense right before the half. So we've got to go back and continue to study that and look at it. But like last week at Florida State, the offense scored right before the half. And today, with 56 seconds left, we had all 3 of our timeouts, which we usually try to keep them. And we were able to go down and get a field goal to take it in at half. And then coming back out the second half, I thought the first series we make a first down, and then we come back and they stop us. But then we get a batted ball interception that leads to points. And that pretty much put the thing in jeopardy because it put NC State behind far enough that they had to throw the ball more than they would like to. I hope that Persons is okay. Dave said he was okay after the game or would be okay. And I always want to make sure that the young people in the game are safe. Questions?
All right, thanks, Coach. Just as a reminder, we will use the raise hand function. Looks like we've got already a handful in the queue. Please state your name and your media affiliation before your question. We will begin today with Bridget Condon. Bridget, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Bridget Condon with ABC 11. I know we've talked about this before, but the duo between Javonte Williams and Michael Carter, what does that mean for this program and to see them week in and week out continue to put up numbers? Last week, obviously not as much as this week, but still have those numbers.
Yeah, Bridget, I said it earlier in the year, and they reinforce it every week. I think they're probably the best combination of 2 backs in the country. They're tough, they're smart, they protect the ball, they run with power, they both have patience, and really no one has tackled them on a consistent basis all year. And they, when we get them going, the rest of it works. And it's hard to stack the box and stop those 2 in the running game and then have enough people left to handle the passing game. And we left some points on the board today with them. Michael makes a long run down the corner and we have a holding call. And then De'Ame dropped the deep pass for a touchdown. So we can get better, but those 2 are playing at such a high level, Bridget, and they do it in practice every day. They're 2 outstanding young people. And they're tough, and they're smart, and they love to play. I absolutely love both of them.
All right, let's go over to Dina King.
Hey, Coach, congrats on your win. Dina King from Tar Heel Illustrated. You guys up 24-7. with the ball on the 1 yard line. You go 11 plays, 99 yards. How huge was that drive for you guys?
Dana, it was huge, and you're concerned when you're back there that do you get a safety? Do you get a sack, fumble sack for a touchdown? Is there a tip ball that because you've lost all your field position? And that was a really smart thing by Tim Beck and Dave Dorn to pooch that one, because we thought at that point in the game they might go for it. And what an outstanding kick at the 1 yard line. But these guys offensively are confident enough that they said, let's go 99 yards, and that'll take over the game. And it took a lot of time off the clock, but it also was a statement and started by the offensive line and Javonte, because when you hand it off back in the end zone, there a lot of bad things can happen. And I think he got 12 yards on that play, or maybe 24, but it was a huge play to get us started.
All right, let's go over to Andrew Jones. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Coach, you've been asking for turnovers, for turnovers all season, and you got 4 today without turning it over yourself. A couple of them were really big. How huge was it to finally be on that end of the turnover battle today?
Andrew, it's obviously the way you win football games, and I kept telling them they're going to come in bunches when they come. And when we got ahead of them enough, and they had to start throwing the ball every time, that's when you get your turnovers. You get tip balls. You get sack quarterbacks that the ball comes out. And because backs are taught well now. Their receivers and backs are carrying the ball tight, and it's hard to strip it out. But that's how you get your turnovers, and that's how we got today. And we still had maybe 2 more possible interceptions that we had our hands on that we dropped. So we have just got to continue to get better at forcing turnovers.
LaDason Hollins was called on to play today. Last year, he had a situation where you guys relied on him when he hadn't been playing much. Up to that point, he did pretty well. How did he play today, and how important was it that he was able to give you guys that kind of performance?
It's important that he played well, and we're trying to bring Tony Grimes along. We still forget he's a senior in high school, so he played a little bit today. But Patrice yesterday said that he wasn't going to be able to play, and we had worked Day Hollins some during the week, and we want to get him more action. So I thought he did a good job today, especially with the limited amount of work that he's had. And if you lose Patrice today, you had some defensive backs opt out, and then you have lost Storm Duck for a while. So you're really getting thin back there. So guys just have to step up.
Thank you.
And we also played Don Chapman some at corner today. When we weren't in nickel, we played Don Chapman at corner and moved Trey Morrison back to safety. So Dre and Jay are really having to do an outstanding job of mixing and maxing and matching and make all that work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, CL Brown.
Yes, Mac, given, the situation coming off a loss and playing your rivals, how much of how you guys executed today resembled what you would like this team to be, just in terms of business-like and not getting too high, too low?
I want them to play good, CL. That's it. And I don't care if they're high or low. They're a strange bunch in that they never are very loud. It's not a loud team. So they're pretty much like this all the time, and that's why it's so hard to read them sometimes in pregame. Because sometimes they're dancing, and sometimes they're quiet, and sometimes they're picking at each other a little bit. But it's not a demonstrative team where people are screaming and shouting at each other all the time. That's not who they are. And Sam's the same way. You all been around Sam and Michael and Javonte. They're all very much like this every day. So I think that's what we've got. We've just got to continue to play better, and we can't worry about who we're playing against. We did not handle being 5th in the country well. We were way too full of ourselves, in my opinion, that first half. And I've told them they wish they had that back. You don't get them back. It's like our lives. You lose a day, you don't get it back. So they can't say, oh, I wish I'd had that opportunity again. You can't. And that's another great lesson you learn from college football.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Brenda Marks.
Hey, Mac. Brenda Marks in The Athletic. Thanks for taking the time. I wanted to follow up on Bridget's question about Javonte specifically. You've mentioned in the past how much Coach Hess has made a difference across the whole program in terms of building strength, speed, all those things. What areas of Javonte's body and game have you seen Coach Hess improve the most, and in what days does that translate to the football field?
Brendan, I think the thing I've seen him improve the most is explosive power. I mean, he gets from here to there, and he's so powerful, and he runs so low to the ground, and he's got such big, strong thighs that he makes a lot of people miss tackles every game. And some of them that try to tackle him, he just punishes them. I'm amazed at when we got here, he was a short yards and goal line guy kind of the year before, and we all thought he was good, but not this. I mean, he just continues to get better, and I think Michael's gotten a lot better too. I will say when Urban Meyer came and spoke at our high school clinic our first spring, he looked at me and said, "Ooh, 8 and 25 are really good." I said, "Yes, they are, and they're about to get better." And I remember when I first took the job, I asked Bubba, because of my TV time, I said, "Is 8 still here? I want to make sure 8's coming back." Because I'd watched enough of the games without really studying Carolina that I could tell that he was an outstanding player in space. And what he's done is Michael's making people miss tackles, but he's also moving the pile inside. And his patience is so good. You'll see the thing look like there's nothing there, and all of a sudden he's outside and up the boundary. And they're both just really special players and better young people.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
All right, let's go to Greg Barnes.
Hey, Matt. Greg Barnes with Inside Carolina. We talk a lot about toughness in this rivalry. Curious as to your opinion on the importance of that, and how do you quantify that? How do you kind of measure that on the field?
Greg, this is a tough sport, and you've got to be physical every day. And I think that's why it's so hard to win. Because this age group, it's hard for them to practice with intensity and toughness every day, and therefore it's hard to play that way every Saturday. I still can't figure it out. I still don't know why. Our minds are so complicated. It's hard to figure out why you all think, we're going to win this game, when I'm sitting here thinking they haven't seen us practice. So it's kind of crazy with the whole thing. But I was talking to Jones yesterday, and we did the interview for pregame, and I remember this from last year, but 25 of the last 28 games in this series have been won by the team that won the rushing battle. 25 of 28, so that's really, really powerful. And we were 326 yards rushing to 34. And I told the guys, you want to win the game, there's a good stat, man. I mean, so we come in here on Saturday afternoon, we come in here on Sunday. I'm going to look right at that stat, and I'm going to look at turnovers and tell you who won the game based on the past. And really and truly, that's what happened. It was about our running game, our defense against the run, and forcing turnovers. And that was the difference in this game and the margin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Isaac Shade, go ahead, Isaac.
Thanks. Coach Isaac Shade from All Tar Heels for Sports Illustrated. First, I wanted to say what you were saying about your timeouts. You've been hanging out with Coach Williams too long. Hey, I wanted to ask you.
That's a good thing.
You stuck with Atkins after he missed the chip shot field goal early in the game, and he rewarded you with his first multi-field goal game of the season. What does it do for a young man's psyche to stick with him in a moment like that?
We watch him every day, Isaac, and he's got such a powerful leg. He can kick it 60 yards, and he gets it really high. So there shouldn't be many blocked, except for the one that he missed. And he missed the first 2 at Furman last year, weirdly enough, and then made, I think, 11 in a row and was an All-American. So I'm not giving up with him with all this craziness. The 2 of the ones he missed before the one today were a foot to the left. And, you know, I'm such a great coach. I said, aim more to the right so we can do that. And some of the coaches said today, you want to change kickers? And I said, no, I think he'll be good. And I walked down and said, what'd you do? And he said, I went too quick and I pulled it. Facts. So slow down, be confident, and do the things you need to do. And hopefully now this will give him the confidence to be a factor as we get in this stretch to end the season.
Thanks, Coach.